Hasbro Jurassic World Target exclusive Raptor Squad 4-pack. Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Jurassic World Target exclusive Raptor Squad 4-pack featuring Velociraptor Charlie, Velociraptor Echo, Velociraptor Blue, and Velociraptor Delta. This is a brand new set that most Target stores don't have out quite yet as of this recording. Though through a little bit of luck I was able to procure a set. It retails for $34.99 and features the 4 Velociraptors that we will see in the upcoming film Jurassic World. The packaging here is quite similar to what we have seen with other Jurassic World dinosaur toys. And on the back we get a pretty nice look at the 4 Raptors that make up Raptor Squad. Also included is a little LED light that supposedly lets you see some secret patterns or such on their skin. So let me go ahead and get these guys out of the packaging and we'll take a look and see what they're all about. Alright my friends, so here we have the Velociraptors out of the packaging, and my first impression is that they're quite nice. There are some things that I do like about them, and then there are some other things that are a little bit disappointing. So let's go ahead and check them out one by one and see what each Raptor has to offer. Okay, you guys, so here we have Velociraptor Charlie, and the sculpt on it actually looks quite good. In fact, I would probably say that this is the nicest one out of the set in terms of a sculpting perspective. I'm really liking the head. It looks very much like what we have come to know from the Jurassic Park Velociraptors, and I think they did a really nice job with this one. Her physique and proportions look to be quite lifelike and very nicely done. The coloring is a little bit questionable. I'm not so sure that it's going to look like this in the film. It doesn't look too bad. It's basically like a, an army green kind of thing with some black striping along her back. But I definitely think they did a really nice job posing this one. Since all of them are pre-posed stylistically, at least they give this one a pretty neutral one, kind of like he's just strolling along, which is pretty cool. See, I really like the head. It's got all the nice sculpting details that we would hope to see here. The eye looks really nice. The teeth look quite good. They're kind of like a, yellow-green kind of color. There's just a little bit of detail on the tongue. The roof of the mouth has a little bit of detail as well. I really am quite pleased with the body. I think they did a really good job with it. The hands look nice, just like he's strolling along. Now, of course, the biggest problem that, a lot of people have been having with these Raptors is that they're missing the sickle claw. Which basically denotes a Velociraptor. It's totally lacking from here. I suppose technically this would be the claw, so I guess you could say it is there, but it's not anatomically correct. It should be a larger claw, it should be like kind of, sticking back up here, and it's not. So, I don't know why they did this. The best thing I can think of is maybe it was a balancing issue. Because as it is, one of them is really hard to stand, but, maybe when they tried doing it with the 2 toes and then the sickle claw, you couldn't get them to stand. And since these are toys, I could kind of see that, maybe they thought, hey, we're going to be releasing the electronic ones anyway, so let's just do these ones, make them good toys. That's certainly a possibility, but in any case, it is quite disappointing. Now, articulation on the 4 Raptors is the same. They each have 4 points. Both of the arms move with the right and left, and then the legs move as well. Though on some of these Raptors, the joints seem to be very stiff, but they certainly do move, which does help, with balancing and getting them to pose nicely. And that brings us to Velociraptor Echo. Echo is quite interesting. She's got a very open mouth, and certainly looks like maybe she's roaring at another dinosaur or something. Obviously she looks quite different from Charlie. Now I have been having a heck of a time getting her to stand up. For whatever reason, both of her feet are not sitting flush on the surface, so she's wanting to topple sideways, which is quite unfortunate, especially if my theory about, why the sickle claw is gone is true. Now Charlie is much more of a tan color, and she has some greenish stripes running along her back. The color of this one actually reminds me quite a bit of the earlier Jurassic Park toys from the 90s, except for the green stripes, of course, because those ones would have had like deeper brown stripes. I think I'm thinking more of the electronic Velociraptor figure. But this isn't terribly bad. I don't like it quite as much as I do Charlie, just because it doesn't look quite as realistic to me. Give you a close-up here of Echo's head sculpt. It's quite decent. I don't think it's quite as nice as the other raptors in this set, but it's not bad. Obviously the jaws are open, perhaps a little bit unnaturally wide, or I'm not sure, but just looks a little funky. The top teeth are also very green. I'm not quite sure why that is. The bottom ones are not like that. The tongue has a little bit of detail in it. Mouth looks weird. She doesn't have a throat, so I don't know how she eats. Overall, I'm not really feeling the coloring on this one. It just looks radically different from any of the other dinos in this set. It's different, which is fine. It just, the other ones kind of at least look like they somewhat fit together. This one's just way different for some reason. Now, also, this one and Velociraptor Blue from this set are also 100% the same sculpt. They're just repainted in different colors. I would say that Echo is probably my least favorite dinosaur in this set, just because the coloring, I don't know, I'm not too impressed with it, and I do find it to be a little bit more lackluster than the other ones in the Raptor Squad 4-pack. All right, and moving right along to Velociraptor Blue. Now, if you watched my most recent review before this one, we did look at the Jurassic World Growlers assortment, Velociraptor Blue, and this one is quite similar actually in terms of the overall pose and in terms of the paint. It looks like they replicated the look of that one fairly closely. The pose on this one is pretty good too. I think I like it a little bit better than Echo, but not quite as much as Charlie. It basically looks like she's about to attack. Like with the Growlers Raptor, I do think the coloring on this one is pretty good, and it does harken back somewhat to the Jurassic Park 3 Velociraptor. And it also looks a little bit like the Papa Velociraptor, the second version that was based off the Jurassic Park 3 design. So looking at this one up close, it does look really good. I mean, the sculpting details are all certainly there. The eye looks really nice. The teeth look pretty good, though they're not very much separated. They kind of all flow together. There is some detail there in the mouth. This looks a little bit weird, but, it's not terrible. I like the color they use for the inside of the mouth. It's kind of like a mauve kind of thing. Certainly looks pretty good, and then, the claws look decent. Sculpt work on the body is pretty good. I do like the paint. I like the paint job that this one has. It looks pretty natural, and, if you look underneath her, she has that same, light yellow, white color that the Growlers Raptor had. So, quite nice. The tail's also pretty neat looking. Of course, the sickle claw is pretty aggravating, but all in all, it's not a bad figure. Now here's a comparison of our Raptor Squad 4-pack Velociraptor Blue on the left with the Growlers assortment Velociraptor Blue on the right. So as you can see, quite similar in appearance. Obviously the Growlers version is a bit smaller, and it does look to be a little bit more detailed to me. It looks like they did a better job painting it, and of course it's got the sickle claws. So if the upcoming electronic Raptors are anywhere near as good as this Growlers Velociraptor Blue, then that's a pretty good indication that those ones might be the better figures to hold out for. Okay, and last but not least, we have Velociraptor Delta. Now, I would probably say that Delta is my second favorite in terms of the sculpt and the coloring. The head does look quite a bit different. It looks very much rounded on the back, kind of like she's, pulling her head back or something. But, it's still a pretty good sculpt. She does look somewhat bird-like, actually, and it looks like she's fixing to attack. So, pretty good pose for this one. Now, it does kind of feel like the arms on Delta are a little bit long. I guess it must be because they're a little bit more erect than what we see with the other Raptor figures in this set. But for some reason, they just still feel a little bit long. But all in all, I do like the coloring here. It's kind of like a chocolatey brown kind of thing with some darker gray stripes running along her back and on her face. Give you a close-up here of the head. Again, quite nicely done, though it does look a little bit different than what we saw with the other ones in this set. It just looks like she has more like kind of skin there on the side of her mouth. Her teeth are kind of like, a yellowish green, and they're painted a little bit strangely. It just looks a little bit sloppy. I really like the tongue, though. You can kind of see it, sticking out, kind of like what you'd see with a bird. Her eyes are also very nice. There's a little bit of detail up in the roof of her mouth. And, you know, the coloring is pretty good on her, too. I'm quite pleased with the coloring. But yeah, just like with the other raptors, the sculpt is nice. All the little, you know, scaling and folding and details are there, except for the claw. Hate to keep saying it, but, you know, it is very noticeable and unfortunate. The tail is also really nice. I like the way that they posed it, kind of just running along like that. So, you know, all in all, nice figure. I think this is probably going to be my second favorite one in the set. Now, we also get a little instruction packet type thing for Velociraptor Blue, and it kind of just tells you about the battery and how to use the little light that comes in the set for her. So basically, this is the light. I don't know that it might be like a black light kind of thing, but, you know, just press the button and, you know, shines the light. You know, this thing itself is, you know, pretty bland, but apparently blue is the only raptor in the set that this thing works for. So you shine the light on her, and you can kind of see like a blue pattern. Maybe this is why in the Hasbro universe they call it Velociraptor Blue. I don't know, but you know, you just get a little bit of it on her back. This is very strange. I don't know why they would go all out to include something like this just for a little bit of a pattern on one of the raptors, unless it's somehow tied into the film somehow, which, you know, that's anybody's guess. But, you know, this to me doesn't really seem that necessary. It just adds a little bit of incentive to the set. You know, if maybe you're a collector or an adult who's looking to maybe buy this, and you see that and go, oh, you know, I can shine the light on the raptors and reveal some pretty cool stuff. But other than that, it's really nothing special. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Hasbro Jurassic World Target exclusive Raptor Squad set featuring Velociraptor Delta, Velociraptor Blue, Velociraptor Echo, and Velociraptor Charlie. For $34.99, it isn't a terrible value. It might be a little bit overpriced because, you know, if you divide it up, you're looking at about $8.75 a figure, which, you know, depending on how much you like these, might be a little bit much. It's not terribly bad, though, especially when you consider that the Growler Velociraptor Blue costs $15. But, of course, that one has the sickle claw and the electronics. All in all, it's not bad. I do think that Charlie and Delta are going to be my favorite ones in this particular set. I think especially Charlie just has, you know, the overall nicest aesthetic. You know, the sculpt is very nice. It looks quite natural and realistic. It's a fairly neutral pose. But I do like the paint best over on Delta. I just think that it looks, you know, the most realistic. If they would have taken that paint job and applied it to all these raptors, I probably would have liked them a little bit better. But I do get why they are different, of course. So it looks like in terms of the Growlers assortment, Hasbro is going to be releasing the other three raptors. We already reviewed Velociraptor Blue, and it looks like the other three are going to be coming in the future. Those look like they are going to be better dinosaurs overall, even though they're going to be a little bit pricier. It looks like they might have nicer sculpts and, you know, overall nicer paint and detailing, plus the sickle claws, of course, and they will have the electronics. So if you're on a budget, I would say hold out, wait for those. They're probably going to be better figures. But if you're a completist or you just love Velociraptors, even, you know, with the whole Raptor Gate, sickle gate thing of them missing the claws, it's a pretty decent set. I don't have any regrets about buying it. If you want to see if you can get this set early, I will put the Target DCPI code down at the bottom. You might be able to luck out like I did. I just went to the store, gave them the code, and luckily had somebody retrieve one from the back for me. So I had good luck. Maybe you will too. If not, these will be out in a few days, probably at most Targets. All right, you guys, thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.